Stuck in Sanity, written by Blake Stoba. Chapter 1. The End.
He's dead.
Batman drives down a long, narrow road. The tires of the Batmobile tear across the dirt. He rushes to the Gotham graveyard, but not because he thinks he's running out of time. He knows he already failed, that it's too late.
He's dead.
Batman keeps repeating that to himself, to mentally prepare. He continues down the path that will quite possibly end his career for good. That all depends on the outcome of the proposal he has in mind. Something he's been thinking about for a while. He takes sharp turns on the road, tossing rocks through the air with his already shredded tires. The Batmobile's a wreck. He hasn't been keeping it up lately, but that might not matter at this point. The Batmobile comes to a screeching halt. He reaches the end of the road. The dirt road fades off into a beautiful yellow field of weeds and leaves. Not a tree in sight, just an open plain. Gotham is known for its dark and gothic atmosphere. The locals laugh at the irony of the most peaceful graveyards to ever exist. The roof of the Batmobile slides back. Before Batman climbs out, he talks to himself one last time.
He's dead.
Batman slowly climbs out of the Batmobile. He finds it hard to take that first step, to come face to face with his worst fear, the scene he's expecting to walk up to. Without another second to think about it, he starts walking. The loud shuffling of his boots on the hard dirt fade away as he walks into the field that may very well mark the last sighting of the Batman. Not a sound can be heard. The graveyard is dead silent. Batman brushes through each weed, nearing his objective. He notices a figure on their knees in the distance. Batman takes off his gloves. He feels the weeds on his hands as he continues through the field. He takes the time to appreciate the nature of a place dedicated to death. Although there is a lack of danger, his life flashed before his eyes. His parents, Jason, Barbara, everyone taken from him too soon, because of crime and injustice. Finally, Batman reaches the figure. It was Joker, slumped over on his knees, covered in blood.
It was meant for you. All of it. It was supposed to be you.
Joker never even looks up at Batman as he speaks. It's like he cannot bear to look him in the eye. The somber tone in his voice actually gives off a sense of remorse. For the first time in his life, Joker feels sorry. Batman replies,
All these years, you've caused me emotional torment and pain. And now, you took what Batman represents and turned it into a tool of your own. I should kill you. I don't know why I haven't for all these years. This week, I almost crossed that line because of you.
Batman finally has the chance to confront the Joker as a person. They're on the same level, and he's using that to his advantage.
You took everything from me, so I'm giving you one last chance. Let's throw this all away.
Batman puts his hand out. He's desperate at this point. Whatever it takes.
No more fighting. No more killing. I'm sick of this constant chase with you. We're both stuck in a never-ending cycle of good versus evil. And honestly, I don't know what side I'm a part of anymore. You've made me question everything I stand for. So take my hand, and this all ends. I'll help rehabilitate you. Stand by you for everything. and never give up.
Joker is hesitant.
Batman,
The Joker will never be spoken about again if you take my hand, or if you decline my offer, in which case, I can't help you. Right now, either the Joker ends, or Batman does. It's up to you.
Joker just stares at Batman. He doesn't move a muscle. He just stares. His eyes start to swell up with tears. Joker wipes his face and gets to his feet. He walks past Batman and stops behind him. Batman doesn't turn around. He just wants to listen. Joker clears his throat as he's about to give his answer. 1 week earlier. The crime alert in the Batcave goes off for the first time all day. A slow day in Gotham City. For the first time in a while, Robin jumps at the opportunity for some action.
Finally! It's been dull around here lately.
Batman settles him down.
Damien, calm down. This isn't supposed to be fun.
Who said fun? Don't tell me you don't get the least bit excited when you get these calls.
I don't find excitement in possibly arriving at a crime scene with 2 dead bodies waiting for me. I don't find 2 corpses lying in a puddle of their own blood comforting.
Robin falls silent. Batman realizes he may have been too harsh on his son, but that was no way to respond to an emergency alert. The computer updates, specifying that the assailant at large is none other than the Joker.
You see? Everything will be fine. Doesn't it always end with the clown behind bars?
Robin remains optimistic. Batman replies quietly.
Just get in the car.
Robin hops in.
This'll be easy.
Chapter 2. With a Smile. His mind is focused on only one thing. The Joker. It's always him. It's always the Joker that stresses Batman out more than any one of his other foes could possibly fathom. Joker is unpredictable, something that Robin doesn't seem to understand. Damien believes that this mission will be easy. For some reason, Batman just can't agree with that. It's never easy with the Joker. All he does is spread chaos and anarchy for the sake of nothing. Enjoyment? Pleasure? Pain? Nobody has the answer to why he does the things he chooses. Not even the Joker. Damien breaks the silence.
Father?
Batman ignores his son. He keeps his hands tight on the wheel, working on plans A, B, and C. For if and when they eventually fail. Sure, hostages await them at the local carnival, but that doesn't mean it'll be as simple as saving the hostages and beat the clown.
Father?
Damien keeps trying.
I'm focused on the road, Damien.
Batman keeps his eyes locked on the path ahead.
I think you're making this into a bigger dilemma than it needs to be. This is the Joker we're talking about. You've always beaten him, haven't you?
I have.
So what's different this time?
I don't know. All I know is I've never felt this tension before. This harsh pain in my side. This ache in the pit of my stomach.
Maybe you're just scared.
Maybe. But I never felt this for them.
Them?
Jason. Barbara.
What happened to Jason and Barbara wasn't on you. You weren't there, and you couldn't have helped that.
I know. But I'm with you right now.
Damien freezes. He's never seen Batman like this before. He's been in Bruce Wayne's life for a little over a year now, and he's never seen fear spread throughout the entire body of the Batman. His dad is scared, but not because he thinks he's about to die, because he thinks his son is. It takes them 10 minutes to arrive at the carnival. It's a ghost town. A lot can happen in 10 minutes, double that with the Joker. Batman and Robin hop out of the car, but take their time when approaching the entrance. Expect the unexpected. They stop before entering the carnival. Batman uses detective mode to scan their surroundings. Nothing. No traps, no henchmen, no explosives. Batman starts moving. Robin follows close behind. They stick close together, watching each other's backs, peeking around every corner. They search each booth and turn over every standee in the park. Nothing seems out of place or tampered with. Damien breaks the long silence.
No cops? Why haven't the GCPD arrived yet? Gordon called us in, didn't he?
He knows about it?
Batman sounds worried.
So why isn't he here? Why isn't anyone here?
Batman uses detective mode once again to scan the park.
Batman, what's going on?
Batman pulls out his grappling gun and zips up to a clock tower in the middle of a mini-golf course. He has a clear view of the entire carnival. He sees nothing that shows where Joker might be. He lands back down next to Robin.
Where is he?
Damien asks again.
I don't know, Robin! I don't know!
Batman is losing it.
This doesn't make sense. Something's wrong.
We need to go.
Robin starts moving towards the exit.
Maybe he wants us here for a reason, and we're digging our graves the longer we stay here. Let's go.
No, Robin, we have to find them!
Find who? There's no one here!
Batman knows Robin has a point. Staying in their position any longer could be compromising. They start to head out. As they exit the carnival, they see a figure laying across the hood of their car. Batman puts his hand in front of Damien.
Robin, stop!
The figure has their hands behind the back of their head, relaxing. They have their eyes closed.
Who is that?
Damien squints as he tries to make out the figure. Batman responds.
Joker.
Joker opens his eyes and sits up. He yawns.
About damn time.
He looks at the invisible watch on his wrist.
Such a shame. It's been well over 25 minutes at this point. Did you just not care?
Damien smirks.
Looking a little thick there, clown boy. You gained some weight?
Batman doesn't recognize him.
Joker?
Yes, Batman.
Joker says with a sarcastic tone.
Are you just gonna let your little brat fat shame me like that? I mean, come on now!
Batman moves closer to Joker.
Ah? Stop.
Joker takes out some kind of detonator. Batman stops dead in his tracks.
But I checked the carnival. There are no explosives anywhere.
You checked the whole carnival?
Joker says as he doubts the Dark Knight.
We did.
Robin interrupts.
1, this device won't detonate any explosives. 2, you didn't even check thoroughly enough.
Joker grows a sinister grin across his face. Batman's face drops. You can see the worry in him.
What do you mean?
Joker walks towards Batman and Robin.
I mean, you missed something. In your haste. Or was it worry?
Joker moves past Batman and Robin and heads back into the carnival.
I didn't spray paint any doors. I didn't have any men posted outside any booth. I didn't have balloons tied to any rides.
Batman and Robin look confused.
I didn't give my position away, Bats. All these years I've been telling you where the hostages are and where to find me. I finally realized you were never looking for the hostages. You were looking for me.
Batman starts shaking his head.
What? You gonna tell me I'm wrong? Am I wrong that you were looking for my face sprayed on a door? Or a bunch of hearts written across a booth with your name on it?
Joker chuckles at the heroes.
No, I scanned the park. I didn't detect any heat signatures.
Batman, I kept them in the steam room. It's like a furnace in there. Why anyone would go to a makeshift spa at a carnival, I'll never know. Let me guess. You saw all that heat clumped together and passed on it because, well, it's a furnace. You just moved on.
Batman's eyes widened.
Where are they?
Joker smiles.
Not in the steam room anymore, obviously.
Joker detonates the device in his hand, and a bunch of bodies come raining down from the clock tower.
I always have my people posted around. I just didn't make it obvious this time. I had them slit the hostages' throats and dump their bodies in the clock tower the second you decided to leave. They really came spilling out all dramatically, huh?
Joker!
Batman loses it.
What did you do?
Literally nothing. All I did was watch and wait. But you never came.
Batman looks horrified.
I was in the funhouse, by the way. Of all the places you didn't check. Come to think of it, you didn't go inside any ride or funhouse or maze, did you?
Batman stutters.
I
Was scared! I never thought I'd see the day.
Joker shows his teeth with a nasty smile.
How lucky am I? Ha!
Robin screams and lunges at Joker with his sword. He misses,
Ah!
but knocks Joker to the ground. Batman throws a batarang at Robin and knocks the sword out of his hand.
No killing!
Batman yells out desperately.
Are you kidding me?
Robin kicks Joker in the chest to make sure that he stays down.
No!
Joker's henchmen arrive to protect him. They hold Batman and Robin off, while Joker gets to his feet and watches the fight unfold. Batman and Robin handle the goons fairly quickly, throwing them into booths and knocking their teeth out on any ride near them.
Still no GCPD. Really makes you wonder.
Joker furrows his brow as he pretends to piece together his own plan.
Maybe Gordon didn't make that call. And maybe the GCPD have no idea we're even here right now.
Robin lunges at Joker again, but goes right over his head.
Really, Boy Wonder? As I'm talking?
Joker shakes his head, disappointed.
Kids these days, am I right, Batman? They think they're invincible.
Fear sets in on Batman once again.
Joker, please.
Please what? I'm just trying to make you understand. They think death avoids them because they haven't lived a full life. Newsflash! None of us get to live our full lives! I mean, see what I'm talking about?
Joker points to the clock tower. Batman looks over at the bodies laying on the ground. His heart stops. He focuses on one of the bodies. He slowly walks over to one of the bodies. His hands start shaking. He flips one of the bodies over, revealing the face of a little boy. Batman turns his head over to look Joker in the eye.
You see, Batman, it's as I've always said. All it takes is...
Joker is cut off by a sword slicing through his back, piercing his heart. Robin rips the sword out and kicks Joker down to the ground. For good this time. Batman doesn't even move. He just speaks.
Robin.
He can't believe what he just witnessed. His own son murdered the Joker. Just then, the GCPD finally arrived. It seems like they take their time getting out of their cars, but they're just as cautious as Batman and Robin were. Jim Gordon approaches Batman.
Batman, what happened?
Gordon asks. Batman doesn't respond. He seems to be in shock. Gordon notices Robin standing over Joker's dead body. He walks over.
How'd he go?
Robin looks up at Gordon.
With a smile.
Back at the Batcave, Bruce sits at the computer. He reads every news article about the death of the Joker. It's only been 3 hours, but it is the biggest story to hit Gotham in years. He's read several articles at this point, and they all paint the same picture. Batman fails to save hostages. The Joker dies at the hand of Batman's faithful sidekick. Bruce feels sick. He can't even look his son in the eye. Every time he thinks back to that moment Robin stabbed Joker, his heart breaks. Just then, Damien starts to come down the stairs.
Father, Alfred told me to tell you dinner's ready.
Damien waits for a response that doesn't come.
What?
Batman doesn't even look at Damien. He just stays focused on the computer and continues to read the articles about Joker's death.
Wait, is it because of him?
Batman still doesn't respond.
Are you mad at me? Mad that I took him away from you?
Batman takes off his mask, stands up from the computer, and approaches his son.
You took a life today, Damien. Everybody deserves help. No one is beyond saving, not even him.
Do you seriously believe that?
Damien fires back.
Do you have any idea how many deaths I've prevented? Think about how many people died because you were too stubborn to make the tough call.
Bruce feels personally attacked. Damien starts to walk out of the room, but not before getting the last few hits in.
You seem to feel so guilty about what happened to Jason and Barbara. I never thought it was your fault. But had you killed Joker years ago, maybe Barbara would be fighting right beside us and Jason would still be alive.
Bruce's stomach drops. Coming from his own son, that hurt. Damien goes upstairs for dinner, leaving Bruce alone in the Batcave. Bruce walks back to the computer. He takes one last look at the article headline. The Joker is dead. Then he shuts off the computer. Chapter 3. Demons. Bruce sits alone in his study. He hasn't left the manor in a couple days. He can't stop thinking about his own son murdering the Joker. Perhaps what's bugging him more is Damien's point. Maybe they really could have prevented numerous casualties by killing Joker years ago. Was Batman too weak? Was he being selfish? Bruce thinks about his moral code, his no-killing rule. Is it really necessary? Maybe some tough situations would call for it. Bruce wipes his face in frustration. He hates to even consider breaking this rule. He lets out a deep sigh and gets up from his desk. Alfred walks into the room.
Sir, the Batwave is sounding off.
Alfred tells Bruce. Bruce nods.
Thanks, Alfred.
Bruce activates his grandfather clock and opens the entrance to the Batcave. He walks down the almost endless stairs, as if his mission has already started.
Please, sir, consider this a free night. Let the police handle this.
Alfred interjects.
You know I can't do that.
Bruce says with an almost somber tone. Bruce opens the glass case containing his batsuit, Knight Armor Mark II, the blue variant. The suit that gives Batman an extremely tactical advantage and protects him from most attacks. Due to the pattern of the armor, leaving only a few key locations on his body exposed, Bruce hasn't had the chance to send in the Mark III design to Lucius Fox yet. He prepares for the worst every night. Batman hops in the Batmobile and sets off into Gotham. A woman is cornered at the end of an alley by an unknown assailant. Some guy is just looking for trouble. He slowly approaches her. He is cocky and arrogant, as if this is a game to him. He pulls out a knife and pins her against the wall. The woman lets out a scream and he slushes her in a creepy fashion. This criminal was more monster than man. He drags the knife along her wrists, causing blood to spill out quickly. Her whole body goes weak as the man starts to tear at her clothes. Moments later, the alley is illuminated and the Batmobile comes to a screeching halt. Batman jumps out of the Batmobile. This is routine for him, but something seems off. He seems angry, letting his emotions come before the mission.
Always on time to spoil the fun. Oh, Cape Crusader.
The criminal taunts. Batman doesn't even respond. He just quickly approaches the man and socks him in the face, knocking him on his back. The woman seizes the opportunity and runs past the man on the ground.
Thank you, Batman.
The woman says, quietly. Batman scans the woman and noticed her rich clothes and blood running down her hands.
He hurt you.
The woman nods.
Keep pressure on your wounds.
Batman walks over to the man on the ground and takes a knee. The criminal comes to his senses and Batman punches him in the face again, this time knocking out some teeth. He repeats. Batman repeatedly punches the criminal in his face, breaking the armored knuckles on his gloves. The woman cries out for Batman.
Stop! He's had enough!
Batman ignores her, but he does stop hitting the guy. He thinks about his role and acts on it. He hesitates, but after a few seconds, he grabs the man's throat with both hands. Batman squeezes as hard as he can. Not a sound can be heard as the criminal struggles for air.
Batman, please!
The woman cries out again.
Let him do his time. He doesn't deserve to get off this easily. Please!
The man's eyes roll back in his head as his face turns blue. As he struggles with life and death, the criminal violently jabs his knife into Batman's side. The blade scrapes through Batman's ribcage, one of his costume's only weak points. Batman snaps the man's wrists and throws the knife away with one quick motion. The criminal can't even cry out in pain. His hands go weak. He is about to pass out. Batman's grip loosens. He realizes what he is about to do and comes to his senses. He quickly lets the man go. Batman gets to his feet and backs away. The GCPD arrived in the alley. Commissioner James Gordon is the first one out of the car. He sees the criminal laying in the puddle of blood with Batman standing over him. Gordon draws his gun, but doesn't aim it. Batman tries to plead.
Gordon,
Gordon interrupts.
Batman, back away from the assailant. We're taking him. You're done.
Batman doesn't even respond. He reaches for his grapnel, shaking.
Batman, don't!
Gordon calls out. Ignoring the order, Batman quickly fires the grapnel up to a nearby rooftop and zips away. Gordon holsters his weapon and walks over to the woman. She's sobbing into her hands. Gordon crouches down to speak with her.
Ma'am, it's the police. Please take my hand.
Gordon offers his hand with a gentle gesture. The woman continues crying.
He's gonna kill him. That's me.
Gordon responds.
I'm not saying that man didn't deserve what Batman delivered upon him. But no, that wasn't because of you. I think Batman's struggling with some demons of his own.
The Batmobile tears into the Batcave an hour later. Alfred is already down there to greet Batman upon arrival. The Batmobile sets into park and the roof slides back. Batman comes crawling out, terrified. He's trembling as if it were below zero. He collapses on the ground.
Master Bruce!
Alfred tries to help Batman to his feet, but he's not even trying to get up. Batman rips off his mask to reveal his red, tear-filled eyes and sweaty face.
I feel like I'm about to have a heart attack, Alfred. Alfred!
Bruce can barely speak.
Sir, just relax. Don't try to speak.
Alfred tries to calm him down, but to no avail.
Alfred, help me.
Bruce is starting to look pale.
I don't want to die.
Bruce.
Alfred changes his tone. He's trying to remain calm before he can help Bruce feel the same.
Relax your body. Take a deep breath, Bruce.
Bruce takes a big inhale, waits a few seconds, then proceeds to exhale. That seemed to do the trick.
I was stabbed. I almost killed a man tonight.
Bruce's eyes started drooping.
Sir, just rest now.
Alfred lays Bruce down gently. Bruce catches his breath and loses consciousness. Commissioner Gordon arrives at the Gotham City morgue after an urgent call. He meets the coroner in a private room.
Care to tell me why this required a meeting in person? You couldn't talk to me over the phone? This night has been an absolute nightmare, and I have a feeling it's far from over.
Gordon taps his foot, impatient.
I wouldn't have asked this if it wasn't absolutely necessary, Commissioner.
Get on with it then, son.
The coroner hands Gordon a stack of papers.
Those are the reports we took on the Joker. His body was examined thoroughly.
Gordon skims the papers.
Okay.
Commissioner, we've taken the Joker's blood in the past. Every attempt has come back without a trace. He's been unidentifiable all these years.
Gordon's eyes squint when he read the last page.
Sir, we now have a location, date of birth, occupation, age, and nationality. According to the DNA we got back from the lab, the Joker's real name seems to be Robert Mays.
Chapter 4. My Hero. Gordon sits miserably on a bench right outside the morgue. He is aggressively sucking on a cigarette as he waits for company to arrive. Constantly checking his watch, Gordon looks impatient.
What's taking so long?
He wonders. Just then, a familiar face lands right in front of him. It's Nightwing, the first Robin. Dropping down right after him is Damian.
Should he really be here?
Gordon asks. Nightwing looks at Robin and scowls.
He needs to see this.
All three of them walk inside together. The cold presence of the dead leaves an unsettling aroma in the atmosphere. Even if this didn't involve the Joker, they'd feel uncomfortable. They meet with the coroner for answers. He seems to have all the information ready. The coroner hands Nightwing a file.
Yeah, it has everything you'd ever need. His address, spouse, place of work, name it.
Nightwing looks at the coroner, confused.
The Joker didn't have a job.
He continues to flip through the paperwork.
No. This can't be right. Well, this shows he was just some family man. Says he has a wife and 2 kids.
Let me see that.
Gordon takes the file from Nightwing. As the two investigate, Damian has his head down in shame. He's finally starting to feel bad about what he did, but he doesn't exactly know why.
This is why you're here.
Nightwing says to Robin.
You did this.
He points at Joker's body on the table.
This is you.
Robin examines Joker's body.
I don't mean to tell you how to do your job, but isn't this guy supposed to look like a Thanksgiving turkey at this point?
Gordon looks at the corpse.
You haven't performed the autopsy yet. What gives?
I thought it was odd too, Commissioner, but I was given orders not to open him up until you all showed up.
The coroner replies.
Orders? By who?
Nightwing chimes in.
Who?
Some thugs, 2 big guys. It felt like they were gonna hurt me.
Nightwing stays silent as Gordon starts arguing with the coroner. He looks at Joker's body and studies it. He can't figure out why those men were here and why they'd give that order.
Why did you listen to them?
Gordon demands an answer.
I thought they could have been the government. Could have killed me for all I know.
Nightwing's mouth drops.
Everybody, out.
Gordon looks over at Nightwing.
What's that?
Nightwing grabs Robin's arm and flings him towards the door.
Get out!
Robin looks confused. The coroner backs away from the erratic Nightwing. Gordon tries to calm him down, but Nightwing grabs Gordon too.
They didn't want the body open for a reason. They wanted us here with it.
This thing's gonna blow!
Gordon finally puts it together. Gordon reaches for his radio as he exits the room.
This is Commissioner Gordon. I need all available units to the morgue.
Suddenly, Joker's body detonates and blows up the entire room. Smoke comes pouring out of the building. Nightwing, Gordon, and Robin lay on the ground, bloodied. They're alive, but injured. Nightwing gets to his feet first. He sees that the coroner was too close to the body. There's nothing left of him. Robin starts coughing as he stands up. Nightwing rushes to Gordon and helps him up.
Good call, son.
Gordon congratulates Nightwing for his thinking. Nightwing walks over to where Joker's body was. He finds traces of an explosive device. Nothing surprising there. Until he finds a small mic hidden within the rubble.
Someone was listening.
Robin makes the connection.
Who?
Gordon asks. Nightwing looks at Robin.
I think we're gonna visit Robert May's home.
Across town, Nightwing and Robin perch themselves on top of an apartment building.
This is the place.
Nightwing tells Robin.
Gordon has all available units on standby. They'll be here within seconds if I give the signal. Are you ready?
Damien nods.
Yeah.
Nightwing slowly opens the window to Robert May's apartment. He steps inside as Robin follows. The place looks clean, as if it was just straightened up. Nightwing notices a bunch of kids' toys laying on the coffee table. There are 2 plates next to the toys with cookie crumbs on them. It's 8:30 p.m. and it seems too quiet. Nightwing turns to Robin.
It's their bedtime.
A woman comes around the corner and screams when she sees Nightwing and Robin standing there.
Who are you? And what do you want?
Nightwing responds first.
Ma'am, I'm Nightwing.
Yeah? I know who you are.
She cuts him off.
You just startled me. What are you 2 doing in my apartment?
We're led to believe that this is where Robert Mays lives.
He's my husband.
The woman starts to get choked up.
Have you seen him?
Robin replies.
Was your husband the Joker?
Was?
The woman starts to cry.
Ma'am, I know it's hard, but can you answer the question?
Nightwing tries to console her. The woman reaches for her purse.
Was my husband the Joker?
She repeats the question. Damien reacts aggressively.
What are you reaching for? Stop!
It's just my phone. I'm checking the camera in the kids' room. I want to make sure they're sleeping.
Nightwing mimics a relax motion to Damien. The woman suddenly brings a knife out of her purse and charges Nightwing. He dodges the first lunge at him. She comes back around, so he grabs her wrist and breaks the knife out of her grip. Nightwing trips her up and gets the woman on her stomach. He slaps a pair of handcuffs on her and he gets to his feet.
What was that about?
Nightwing asks. The woman starts crying.
I'm had to kill anyone that came looking for my husband.
Who?
Nightwing asks.
Who told you?
The Joker,
she replies. Nightwing and Robin look at each other confused. None of this has made sense. They expect some answers from her.
My name is Miranda Mays. Robert's my husband. One day, the Joker and his goons came to our apartment. They threatened our lives and we didn't do what he wanted. They took Robert to help with something the Joker was planning.
Nightwing interrupts.
Why did the Joker pick Robert?
Robert used to work at Ace Chemicals. The Joker said he was scheduled the night of his accident. He thinks Robert may have been part of the blame. Why the vats of chemicals weren't properly sealed that night.
Nightwing looks down in frustration. Robin looks horrified, ashamed by what he's done.
Please,
the woman asks.
Please tell me Robert's okay.
Robin looks at the woman and freezes. Nightwing responds.
Robert didn't make it. It was an accident at the carnival. He wasn't useful anymore, so Joker's thugs killed him. I'm so sorry.
The woman begins to cry as Nightwing takes the handcuffs off of her. Later that night, Robin and Nightwing sit together by the Gotham docks. A quiet and peaceful location to talk.
You lied for me. I killed an innocent man.
Robin says.
Without hesitation, I ended his life. Those poor kids. I took their dad away from them.
Nightwing responds.
I wanted you to know how wrong that was. I thought it was the real Joker. I didn't think you were going to have to endure all that tonight.
I'm a monster.
No, you just had a bad upbringing. The wrong rules were thrust upon you at an early age. I think that's why Bruce is so protective of you.
I shouldn't have killed him.
You're right.
Nightwing notices the new body language of Damien. He isn't cut out for this. Not anymore.
Look, Bruce hasn't been himself lately. These past few days have been really tough on him. And I think you need to move on with your life.
What?
Someday, Bruce is gonna retire. He's gonna ask his son to carry on the mantle as Batman. You can't accept that. No one can. That ideology has to end at some point.
But Gotham is my home.
It isn't your home. It's where you grew up. It isn't where you're meant to be. I know you're only 13, but you're mature for your age. You should know you're better than this. This isn't the kind of life I'd want for my son.
What about you?
I've been looking for a way out ever since Barbara.
I'm sorry.
That's the thing. You don't have to be. This can all end. Gotham has survived for years without vigilantes. They'll get on just fine.
Damien looks out over the city, thinking about his future. Meanwhile, a secret meeting seems to be taking place at a local comedy club. Two big goons walk up to a man sitting up on the stage.
Good thing we bugged that lady's house like you said, boss. She told those two bird brains all about your plan.
One of the goons hands a device to the man. He plays the recording of Miranda Mays telling Nightwing and Robin about Robert and how they were threatened.
Thank you, Punch, Judy.
The man hurls the device towards Punch and Judy and jumps to his feet. The real clown prince of crime himself, Joker, laughs with glee.
Man, I never get tired of being right.
Punch and Judy wheel a camera into the room and prop it up on stage.
Ready, Mr. Joker?
Hit it, boys.
Back at Wayne Manor, Bruce lays in his chair in the study, trying to relax. Suddenly, the TV turns to static. Bruce seems confused. Just then, the Joker appears on screen. Bruce's heart literally skips a beat. He couldn't even begin to describe the kind of terror he feels in that very moment.
Hello, Gotham City! Surprise, surprise. I'm not dead. Sorry. Oh, don't look so disappointed. After all, I'm not here to gloat. I'm here to spread some truth. Some truth about your dear beloved Dark Knight.
The Joker shines a sinister grin. Bruce stares at the TV screen in horror.
This week, Batman surely has been making the headlines, and not for the right reasons. And to pile on top of all that he's done, I'd just like to let you know what went down that night at that fateful carnival.
The broadcast seems to have gotten the attention of every citizen in Gotham.
Batman came face to face with my double. Just some poor soul thinking who could steal my stick and take on the Caped Crusader. But as fate has it, Batman ended the poor man's life that night. That sad clown became even sadder.
Bruce drops out of his chair and crawls on his knees to the front of the TV. He's glued to each of Joker's words. Back at the docks, Nightwing and Robin overhear the broadcast at a local diner. Robin appears mortified.
He didn't even mention me. I'm the one that did it.
And to make matters worse, Batman almost took another life just the other day. He almost strangled some delinquent in an alleyway. Is this your savior, Gotham? Is this your hero? Well, I know he's my hero.
Bruce starts to shake.
I didn't.
So, Gotham, do what you do best and let Batman know what you think of him. Now, in the meantime, Batman, you should know where to find me. But don't shoot! You just haven't been yourself lately. Here, let me make it a little easier for you.
Joker detonates the device in his hand, and an explosion can be heard across town. A series of fireworks are going off in the sky. They all form one giant green arrow pointing down at Pogo's Comedy Club.
Now, don't keep me waiting, Bats. I let your love pass by me too many times. What do you say we have a real talk for once? Just you and me. You've been working too many nights and you seem stressed. Let me treat you to a nice night in.
The TV static finally turns to black and leaves Bruce alone in the dark and the silence. Chapter 5. A Few Jokes. Robin runs along the rooftops of Gotham City in an attempt to reach the Joker's current position. The fireworks in the sky reveal his location. A vacant comedy club. Perfect MO for the clown. To make it easier for Batman, Joker announced his location to everyone. A rally gathers in front of the comedy club. The Joker turned the city against Batman. The death of Robert Mays and the brutal beating in that alley led Gotham to despise the very presence of the Dark Knight. Robin perches himself on the edge of a rooftop overlooking the crowd standing in front of the comedy club. He can't fathom the thought of Gotham's citizens turning against his father. The worst part of it, is that it's his fault. He killed Robert Mays, and Batman takes the blame. Mays' death led Batman through a downward spiral. He hasn't been the same since that night at the carnival, and Robin knows it. Robin starts to hear footsteps quickly approaching behind him. Robin turns around to find Joker's henchmen, Punch and Judy, sprinting towards him.
Just what I need. More clowns.
Robin mutters to himself as he kicks off the ledge and lands on top of Punch. Judy swings at Robin, but he jumps off at the perfect moment, leaving Punch's face exposed for the beating. Judy knocks Punch out with a single blow. Robin uses that and kicks Judy in the back, using his own momentum to thrust him off the rooftop. However, Robin thinks back to killing Mays and what it led to. Not about to make the same mistake twice, he grabs Judy at the last second and keeps him on the rooftop.
Don't make me regret that.
Robin says, as he kicks Judy in the face, knocking him out as well. Robin jumps across to the top of the roof of the comedy club. He uses the fire escape to climb in through the window. A pretty seedy apartment building turned into a comedy club. The place never turned out to be the nighttime hangout as hoped. Robin searches each room, high and low. No sign of the Joker once again.
Maybe he lied.
Just as Robin speaks to himself, someone approaches.
I don't tell lies, boy wonder.
The Joker calls out from behind. Before Robin can plan for attack, Joker sprays him in the face with knockout gas right as he turns around. Robin starts to feel it hit immediately. He collapses at Joker's feet. Joker bends down and whispers in Robin's ear.
I tell jokes.
Wayne Manor is quiet and dark. Not a light on or sound could be heard in the house. It's empty. Bruce marches down to the Batcave with Alfred right behind him. Bruce grabs pieces of his costume and begins to suit up. Alfred tries to talk him out of it.
You can't go to him, sir. It's exactly what he wants.
Alfred pleads. Bruce ignores him and continues to suit up. He puts his gloves and boots on, followed by his belt and his cape. Alfred grabs Bruce by the shoulder.
Sir, Master Damien is missing. He was last seen with Commissioner Gordon and Master Dick. The Commissioner's down trying to keep the riot under control, and I spoke to Master Dick. He separated from Damien after the Joker's broadcast. We don't know where he is.
Joker.
Bruce replies.
He went after Joker.
Master Bruce, you can't.
Alfred, I have to stop him. This all has to stop sooner or later.
Bruce puts his cowl on and hops into the Batmobile.
Be careful, sir.
Batman ignores Alfred and takes off in his car. Commissioner Gordon struggles to keep the riot under control.
Everyone please remain calm.
Gordon fails at keeping the crowd contained. Batman pulls up right outside the comedy club. The rioters begin to notice him. Batman hops out of his car with some kind of rifle, a new Wayne Enterprises prototype. The crowd starts to march towards their former hero. Batman shoots bolts of weak electricity at their feet. The stun gun Mark I seems to be enough to keep the rioters at a safe distance.
Go home. It might not be safe here.
Batman orders the crowd to disperse, but to no avail. One rioter speaks for the rest.
The only danger we see here is you, Batman.
Batman ignores the man and walks by Gordon to get to the door.
Stay safe, Jim.
I could say the same to you.
Gordon replies with a worried look on his face. Batman hands the stun gun to Gordon and walks inside, closing the door behind him. He walks through the lobby, looking for any sign of the Joker. Nothing out of place so far. He opens the two main doors and heads into the theater. Every seat is empty, with only a small television on the stage. Batman walks through the seats and finally gets on stage. The TV turns to static and then switches to a live feed with the Joker.
Hello, Batsy!
Joker exclaims.
Joker, where are you?
Batman replies, already out of patience.
Don't worry about that right now. All you need to focus on is your young ward.
Joker clicks a button on his remote control and the TV switches to a channel that shows Robin tied up in some field. The grass is yellow with overgrown weeds and not a tree in sight.
Damn it, Joker, where is he?
The TV returns to the Joker.
Come on, world's greatest detective. Do some detecting. Tell me, where is Robin?
Batman studies the image.
It's still. The video isn't live. The sun just went down. Yet it's been dark outside. The grass is yellow. Little to no maintenance. No trees or bushes. Meaning it isn't in the woods.
Batman pauses. He begins to speak.
The most beautiful graveyard.
Ah, Batman knows Gotham Graveyard so well. Fancy that.
Joker laughs with excitement.
Wait.
Fear sets over Batman's entire body.
The video is delayed. He's in a graveyard.
Batman looks worried. Joker frowns.
Well, that was unexpected.
He walks off screen and the TV turns to static. Joker comes out from behind a sheet and arrives on stage.
You weren't supposed to put it together so soon. I still wanted to make a few jokes.
What did you do?
I put my faith in you.
Confused, Batman becomes angry.
What are you talking about?
Joker replies.
The people of Gotham had faith in you. What makes you think I'm any different?
Joker, please.
Now it's please. You know, Batman, when you let little Robin kill Mr. Mays that night, it dawned on me. You really don't give a damn about me. You care more about your precious moral code. I just wanted to see if you would do it. I didn't think you would. But if you did, I couldn't take that chance. I wouldn't want a world without Batman to exist without the Joker. But your sidekick killed him instead. And you've been running around this whole damn city, stuck in your own sanity for a whole damn week. He ruined the joke.
What joke?
If you killed Mr. Mays yourself, you would have gone against everything you stand for, and I'd still be here to laugh in your face. I'd have killed the Batman and lived to tell the tale. A world with Batman but no Joker, trash. A world with Joker and no Batman, ugh. Now that's just terrifying.
Batman grabs the Joker by his jacket. He slams him down on the wooden floor of the comedy club stage.
I'm only gonna ask you one last time. What did you do to Robin?
Joker grins.
He's alive? Only because I wanted to tell him with sheer honesty and confidence that you won't be able to save him this time.
Joker squeezes the flower on his lapel and sprays Batman in the face with gas. Batman starts coughing and begins to feel dizzy. He's able to land one punch on the Joker, breaking his nose before passing out. Batman collapses on top of Joker. Joker uses all his might to throw Batman's body off of him. He gets to his feet while holding his bloody nose. He takes out a detonator and presses a button. Another firework deploys outside and lands right in the middle of the riot outside the comedy club. Bats are dispersed throughout the crowd. They start attacking the citizens as they run for their lives. Gordon does his best to shield the citizens and call for backup.
Get everyone out of here, now!
Joker smiles and begins to lock the front door. He walks outside to find Gordon.
He's in there!
Joker says, with a more normal attitude and tone.
He'll be unconscious for another hour. That gives me plenty of time for a head start. Just go be with him, Commissioner, soon. He's not gonna have anyone left.
The Joker walks off, leaving Gordon to panic and sprint inside the comedy club to check on Batman. Chapter 6: The End of the Batman. Damian Wayne, the fourth Robin, feels the weeds of Gotham Graveyard itch and poke him through his suit. He has his hands and legs tied and a bag over his head. Wondering when the Joker will be back, Robin tries to come up with a plan. Hopefully a plan that doesn't end in bloodshed. What scares him more than anything is what the Joker has planned for Batman. This time has always felt different. Joker has something up his sleeve that might even be terrifying to him. Suddenly, someone grabs Robin and sits him up. He feels the bag move as it's thrust off his head.
Joker.
Damian says, as he looks the clown prince of crime straight in the eye.
Where is Batman?
He'll be along shortly. In the meantime, let's talk.
The Joker flashes a smirk as he catches Robin's attention. Robin says nothing. He plays numerous situations around in his head, over and over. None of them end well. There has to be a way out of this, he thinks. He gets an idea. As long as he plays his cards right and says the right things, he may actually get through to the Joker.
Please don't hurt Batman. I know you two have history, but he's a good man. Clearly you've gotten to him. You've changed him in just a week.
Robin digs from within to deliver these words.
Robin, I didn't want to hurt you. None of this had anything to do with you. But you had to kill Mr. Robert Mays yourself, didn't you?
Joker says with a threatening voice.
Yeah, and I'll regret that for the rest of my life. But why do you have to keep attacking Batman? What do you actually gain from it?
Because I want him to understand!
Joker loses his temper.
For once in my life, I would like to feel like I'm not alone. To feel that at least one other person on this planet knows what it's like to feel stuck. Like you aren't meant to belong anywhere with anyone.
Robin replies,
You honestly believe you're the only one to feel that way?
Yes, I do. Batman is level-headed. And I'm able to break him down to his roots. The root of all sanity. He'll be thinking clear. He'll be able to put himself in my shoes and finally understand why we're destined to do this dance forever.
What exactly do you want him to see? Or feel, for that matter?
Me! I want him to see me! Someone who lost his whole world in a single day. Who he was, and ever will be. Everything taken from him, because the universe allowed it. Ordered it. All the same. And then he will finally see the man he was originally intended, unclouded by the shelter and confronted by the warmth of his own hell. The bars of sanity will be filed down, and Batman will finally meet the one true Joker.
Robin's world shatters as he comes to a realization.
Joker, he already knows. I can't tell you how, but you have to believe me. He truly does.
The Joker takes a gun out from his pocket and aims it at Robin's head. It has a hilariously long barrel in the vein of a fake gun with a flag expected to be released.
No,
The Joker says.
but he will.
Back at the comedy club, Batman's eyes open to find himself surrounded by Commissioner Gordon and the GCPD.
Batman, thank God. Are you okay?
Gordon asks.
How long was I out?
Almost an hour, Batman. The Joker's gone. I'm sorry I couldn't take him. I had to find you and...
It's okay. I know where he is. Gotham Graveyard. He has Robin.
Batman, do you think...
He's dead. He's dead, Jim.
How can you be so sure? The Joker left Barbara alive to torment me. Made us live with the permanent damage he did to her. I'm just saying, you could be wrong.
I'm not.
How do you figure?
I know him.
But Batman...
Batman gets in Gordon's face and raises his voice.
I have to expect he killed Robin for my own mentality. I don't want to lose anyone else, Jim. I can't lose anyone else.
Gordon has a look of sheer horror spread across his face. Batman is in so much pain, and it's not over yet.
He killed Jason Todd. He was the second Robin.
Batman continues.
He paralyzed your daughter, drove the city to the brink of insanity, and I'm not about to let this go on any longer.
Batman walks past Gordon and leaves the comedy club. He gets in the Batmobile and drives off to the graveyard.
He's dead.
Batman keeps repeating that to himself, to mentally prepare. He continues down the path that will quite possibly end his career for good. That all depends on the outcome of the proposal he has in mind. Something he's been thinking about for a while. He takes sharp turns on the road, tossing rocks through the air with his already shredded tires. The Batmobile's a wreck. He hasn't been keeping it up lately. But that might not matter at this point. The Batmobile comes to a screeching halt. He reaches the end of the road. The dirt road fades off into a beautiful yellow field of weeds and leaves. Not a tree in sight. Just an open plain. Gotham is known for its dark and gothic atmosphere. The locals laugh at the irony of the most peaceful graveyards to ever exist. The roof of the Batmobile slides back. Before Batman climbs out, he talks to himself one last time.
He's dead.
Batman slowly climbs out of the Batmobile. He finds it hard to take that first step, to come face to face with his worst fear, the scene he's expecting to walk up to. Without another second to think about it, he starts walking. The loud shuffling of his boots on the hard dirt fade away as he walks into the field that may very well mark the last sighting of the Batman. Not a sound can be heard. The graveyard is dead silent. Batman brushes through each weed, nearing his objective. He notices a figure on their knees in the distance. Batman takes off his gloves. He feels the weeds on his hands as he continues through the field. He takes the time to appreciate the nature of a place dedicated to death. Although there is a lack of danger, his life flashed before his eyes. His parents, Jason, Barbara, everyone taken from him too soon because of crime and injustice. Finally, Batman reaches the figure. It was Joker, slumped over on his knees, covered in blood.
It was meant for you. All of it. It was supposed to be you.
Joker never even looks up at Batman as he speaks. It's like he cannot bear to look him in the eye. The somber tone in his voice actually gives off a sense of remorse. For the first time in his life, Joker feels sorry. Batman replies,
All these years, you've caused me emotional torment and pain. And now, you took what Batman represents and turned it into a tool of your own. I should kill you. I don't know why I haven't for all these years. This week, I almost crossed that line because of you.
Batman finally has the chance to confront the Joker as a person. They're on the same level and he's using that to his advantage.
You took everything from me. So I'm giving you one last chance. Let's throw this all away.
Batman puts his hand out. He's desperate at this point. Whatever it takes.
No more fighting. No more killing. I'm sick of this constant chase with you. We're both stuck in a never-ending cycle of good versus evil. And honestly, I don't know what side I'm a part of anymore. You've made me question everything I stand for. So take my hand, and this all ends. I'll help rehabilitate you, stand by you for everything, and never give up.
Joker is hesitant.
Batman,
The Joker will never be spoken about again if you take my hand, or if you decline my offer, in which case, I can't help you. Right now, either the Joker ends, or Batman does. It's up to you.
Joker just stares at Batman. He doesn't move a muscle. He just stares. His eyes start to swell up with tears. Joker wipes his face and gets to his feet. He walks past Batman and stops behind him. Batman doesn't turn around. He just wants to listen. Joker clears his throat as he's about to give his answer.
You don't get it, do you?
The Joker asks honestly. Batman notices Damien in the distance. He's propped up against a tree, his eyes closed, slouched over, and a bullet in his head. Gone. Taken from this world. Above all else, he's finally able to rest. Batman starts to tremble with rage and fear, but he catches himself in time. He takes a deep breath and turns around to look at the Joker, face to face.
I can't be helped. This is it. This is who I am. This is me.
The Joker pleads with Batman.
Please, would you look at me?
Batman figures out that what Joker wants is much simpler than he originally thought.
This world hasn't been kind to you.
Yes.
There's a glimmer of hope in Joker's voice.
Gotham hasn't been fair to you.
Batman continues.
You feel trapped in a cave, forced to stare at a bunch of creatures that never for a second could understand what it feels like to be you.
Yes.
Joker's voice breaks with an uncanny mix of happiness and sadness. Tragedy overthrows the comedy. Batman shakes his head as he contemplates his next move. His hands start to sweat as he moves without thinking for the first time in years. He brings his arms up, guiding his hands to his face. His fingers slip under the mouth slit of his cowl. Batman lifts the mask off his head, revealing his true identity to the Joker. Joker's eyes widen as he truly sees Batman for who he is. Tears stream down the Joker's face as his body is overcome with emotions that he can't identify. He's taken over by the laughter of his own being. Bruce begins to walk over to the Joker. Joker can barely utter a word. He's just standing there, laughing and taking it all in. Bruce maintains eye contact, but reaches inside his utility belt. He takes out a batarang as he finally steps in front of the Joker. He gently grabs Joker by the shoulder and quickly jabs the batarang into Joker's side. Bruce brings the Joker in closer, embracing him while pushing the batarang in deeper. Joker struggles to breathe as blood starts to fill his mouth. Bruce rips the batarang out of the Joker's ribcage and throws it on the ground. He takes Joker in both arms and hugs him. The Joker slowly starts to lose the strength in his legs. Bruce slowly and gently eases him down to the ground, still holding him. Bruce starts to cry as the Joker begins to speak.
All these years, all that brooding, the symbol, the justice, all because a little rich boy in an alley had one bad day.
The Joker dies with a smile on his face. Tears pour down Bruce's face as the Joker's laughter ends. He finally lets it all out. After all these years, Bruce lets his emotions go as he holds the Joker's dead body in his arms at Gotham Graveyard. His arms stained with blood, the tools of his own design used to take a life. Bruce lays Joker's body down on the ground. He takes his Batman mask and leaves it next to the Joker. He unstraps his cape and lays it across the Joker's body. Bruce gets to his feet and walks over to the one tree far off in the distance. To be with his son, Bruce kneels down to get a good look at Damien. He puts his head down in anger and shame. Defeated, Bruce picks up the body of his own son and walks off, heading back to the Batmobile, back to Wayne Manor, and back to his life.